Hello, this is Mr. Bacon Bits, and welcome back to Spider-Man on the PS4 and PS5. Probably saw that. I tried to do a slingshot glitch. I'm playing the remastered version on PS5, but this video should absolutely work for the PS4 version. This video is going to be covering the collections page on the pause menu. This is where all of the JJJ podcasts, audio recordings, and newspapers are all archived, as well as the backpack items. I will be going through all of them in the order that you can find them in throughout the main story, except for the backpacks, since they're all marked on the map, and you don't need help finding them as a result. The City That Never Sleeps story has its own set of these things, but I will cover those in another video. Now for some general tips about these items. Newspapers are found in red vendors scattered all over the city, and new headlines become available during certain points in the story. None of these are missable, you just collect them in the order they would appear in. The best way to find these is over by Feast. There's 6 of those vendors right nearby it. One in front of the building, another that's down just north, one on the south side of the building over here, 2 behind the building on the east side, and another southeast of the building over by Felden's. Right over there. There are 28 of these in all in the main game. Audio recordings are from recorders found in various missions throughout the story, and they are all missable, so pay attention when they're available. When I show these, I'm only going to be showing a snippet of the start of these for the sake of keeping this video as short as possible, since it's already going to be pretty long. There's 24 of these in the main game. Finally, there are JJJ Archives. After certain points in the story, or after doing other actions, Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson will chime in live with his opinion pieces. Assuming you are subscribed to him, of course, and that nothing else is interrupting, like crimes or other side activities. Some of these are missable, none of them repeat, and they take around 5 to 10 minutes to pop up when the requirements are met, sometimes sooner. If it takes longer than 10 minutes for them to pop up after all story-related calls are done, then do another mission or a side activity and they might show up after that. As such, considering the somewhat randomness of getting them to appear, I'm going to only show these through the Collections menu, and only the beginning snippets of them for the sake of brevity. Don't worry about actually missing any story-related ones. They will just show up in the Collections page if enough missions have been cleared for Jonah's comments to not make sense with the current story. There are a whopping total of 84 of these in the main game. Finally, the order that these are all listed in changes if you close the game and load it back up, so I'm going to be using that particular order. Otherwise, they show up in the order that you found them in. So, to start off, let's go all the way back to the beginning, after Wilson Fisk has been taken to jail. I'm not going to have any commentary for the rest of this video, but information for each item will pop up on screen as they show up. So, enjoy the video.
Best vacation ever. Spider-Man, over here! No, can't talk, Spider-Man. Got a huge meeting. Catch up with you later.
Spidey?
Today's the day. Grant review. We're ready. The work is progressing. Peter, thank you again for doing these blind reviews. Peer review is the backbone of great science.
Looks like Jameson's got a new episode out. Wonder what my #1 fan thinks about the Fisk takedown.
This is Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson, where listeners like you discuss the issues affecting our city with Pulitzer Prize-winning two-time.
Nice to see you.
Hey, big fan.
It's him! Get a picture! Move it!
Police reports show a rash of break-ins recently. The victim of one of them is here with us now. What happened, ma'am?
Well, my business was broken into. A flower shop.
Friends, there's a caller on the line we all need to hear from. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I almost got run over by some psychos in a high-speed car chase with the cops. Hey, fucking...
My next caller is a courageous member of her local neighborhood watch, here to share a concern and a warning.
I just want to tell New Yorkers that drug activity is rampant.
Get ready, folks, because this is a bombshell. We have on the line a lady whose husband was kidnapped by Spider-Man.
What?
Folks, you've heard me express grave concerns about the risk to civil liberties posed by the police department's crime system and their omnipresent towers. But at least the intention... Folks, you know I'm not one to promote conspiracy theories, except ones I think are worthy of further discussion, like this one. I've heard reports of...
The grant review was a debacle, yes, but it may also prove to be the inspiration I need. We can no longer say...
My loyal listeners, brushheads they call themselves, though I've never quite understood why, will remember my As I warned, Nostradamus-like, after Spider-Man recklessly took down Wilson Fisk without preparing for the consequences, our streets are now filled... People, I always thought Spider-Man was a few geese short of a gaggle, but this confirms it. As if that atrocious white spider wasn't enough, I've had repeated sightings.
Scary.
Wait till they see this at work.
Spidey?
Hey, Spidey.
And now for listener emails. May from Queens writes, "You're so full of anger and I wish you'd get help managing it. It's terrible for your health."
Mensch, Spider-Man. I was hoping you were really Spider-Man. That cheap suit ain't fooling anybody.
Unbelievable. I understand we have another low-information caller who thinks we're better off thanks to Spider-Man. Let's see if I can set... You might have heard about the robbery at Roseman's auction house. What you probably didn't hear, but my sources confirm, is that the perpetrators were wearing masks. Horrible
Way up high!
5 cats does not make me a
Maybe
crazy
you got some
cat
spare
lady.
change, man.
Because I'm not crazy. Don't you dare say
I know you got the money, buddy.
Folks, I have to once again defend myself against the spurious claims from McDonald Mac Gargan, aka the Scorpion. Yes. I've always been about the truth. When I was a reporter and a newspaper publisher, I printed the truth. And now as a broadcaster, I speak it. Sometimes it hurts. Bring your children into the room, friends, because I'm delivering a lesson impressionable youngsters need to hear. My guest today is a man who learned...
Keep fighting the good fight, man.
You weird me out, man.
Damn it! Why do I keep repeating the same mistake over and over? Norman Osborn cannot be trusted. In matters... Peter. Oh, Peter. Don't even know why I'm bothering to record this. Norman has neutered us, and soon the lab will...
Now, a lot of people ask me what I think of Mayor Osborn, but what matters is what you think. Let's ask our first caller. You're on with J. Jonah Jameson.
Hi, I think Mayor Osborn's...
Has anyone else heard reports of Spider-Man literally seeking out clouds of smog to swing through? Is this the behavior of a sane individual? I'll tell you what I think is going on. Another low-information Spider fanboy tried to troll me, as the young people say, by claiming Spider-Man was providing a public service plugging leaks in water. Folks, I have received unsettling reports of Spider-Man in our public parks, where children play, apparently stalking pigeons. Yes, what? So, numerous witnesses saw Spider-Man swinging through Times Square like the glory hound he is, firing webs at electronic billboards and causing them to reboot. Granted, those billboards... Okay, this one confounded me for a while. Apparently, Spider-Man's been seen throughout the city tampering with steam regulators. Aside from generally being a vandal and a troublemaker, why would he do this? I'll tell you why. Have you ever been driving along, going to work or church, minding your own business, when suddenly, bam, you hit a pothole, damaging your car and ruining your whole day? Well, you know who to blame. Let's discuss the costume lunatic who just literally destroyed a bank. Wait, you think I'm talking about Herman Schultz? Oh, no. I meant Spider-Man. Look, Schultz is... Friends, I've just received an update on Adrian Toombs, a.k.a. the Vulture. Apparently, this winged criminal has fallen ill with cancer, and he's been moved to...
That was amazing.
Now, how often do I say Spider-Man should let the police handle crime? At least 6 times a day, and that's on my day off. And for once, that is exactly what happened. When Officer Jefferson Davis... Remember when Spider-Man had a sidekick? The Black Cat? A curvaceous young lady in leather. Not the kind you'd bring home to mother. And then, it turned out, she was a... It's all over the news. Another battle between Spider-Man and these demon-masked gunmen threatening the lives of New Yorkers. I understand our next caller lives in the area. You're on with J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
Now, some people falsely say I make up stories about Spider-Man. And this will not help my case because it sounds outlandish, but I have personally seen listener-recorded video of Spider-Man snatching pigeons. Pigeon. Now, if there's one thing I can't abide, it's egomaniacs who use the internet solely to draw attention to themselves. And we just had a real meeting of the minds in that respect, as the online personality Screwball pranked fellow... A helicopter fight, trailing a crane in the air above our teeming streets, on which it could have crashed at any moment in a blazing rotor-chopping fireball of doom. Still think the
Spider-Man! Love you, dude.
Can I have your autograph?
Are you really him?
Did you just be standing here like that?
Today is a day for somber reflection, for mourning, and honoring fallen heroes like Jefferson Davis. But it's also a day to vow never again. It stops here. Some people... Friends, today we have a very special caller, breaking important news right here, Because where else? Mayor Osborne, thanks for calling in.
No, thank you, Jonah. When you were publishing the...
Breaking news just in. My sources tell me the police are now looking at the demons as the primary suspects in the City Hall bombing. If that is in fact the case, I retract what I said about Spider-Man not being to blame. He would be. Not long ago, the demons committed another heinous act of terrorism when they took a tour bus and all of its occupants hostage. We have one of those occupants here with us now, a Mrs. Edna Packer. Savvy listeners don't need me to tell you that the demons' cult, gang, terrorist organization, all the above apply, is out of control. We have a survivor. Now, friends, you know I'm always open to differing points of view. So after a police officer called me out on social media for being too hard on Spider-Man, and it went viral and people just wouldn't shut up about it, I agreed.
Dying for an inside scoop on the Fisk takedown. Let me rescue you, Spider-Man. We'll go right itself.
Can feel my power growing, feeding off my anger.
I have to tell you, Triple J, I used to think you were exaggerating the danger to the city, but after the City Hall bombing, I gotta admit, you were right.
A lot of people have been telling me that, congratulating.
Bro,
Can I get an autograph? Over here! Taxi! Don't mind me. You're even cooler in real life.
Parker, we've been focused on limb replacement, connecting nerves at severed extremities, replicating the function of lost appendages. In some sad, sick way, the City Hall attack may have done some good. Norman's approval ratings are sinking. The people are starting to realize their beloved...
I got an interesting tip today. Remember that barbaric beast named the Rhino? Apparently last night he almost escaped from his cell in the raft. How, you ask? Now here's a frightening thought. Oscorp does research and development for the military. Are the demons after experimental weapons? If I was a psychotic... It started, folks. I'm getting word of a serious increase in the drug trade in our fair city. And it's not the demons or Wilson Fisk's former people. Criminals across... A group of terrorists assassinate American citizens in a bombing attack. How is it possible that instead of being wiped out of existence, these mass... I'm getting emails from the rapidly shrinking yet still stubbornly obtuse contingent of Spider-Man fanboys and fangirls, blithely insisting he did a wonderful thing, shutting... Imagine this. A stray shopping cart dents your car. You take it to the auto body shop, only that shop is a front for a drug lord called Tombstone, and he and Spider-Man have decided to have a... Let's talk about Halloween, folks. It may be good fun for the kids to dress up as a cowboy or astronaut or ballerina and trick-or-treat, but this trend of grown adults glorifying the light...
Huh. Can't forget about that shady rooftop box you recalled about.
Folks, you've no doubt heard about the riot at Empire State University. But this is not your usual toxic mix of underage drinking, entitled millennials. Friends, there's a fine line between being a conspiracy theorist and seeing a clear pattern. I walk that line. and I am confident in perceiving a common threat.
Lift something heavy? Yo, Spider-Man, heard about the helicopter save. Friggin' intense! What's your face already, you friggin' vigilante?
Our next caller reports a problem I saw coming a mile away. Go ahead, ma'am.
Well, I was coming out of the bathtub last night when I glanced out my window, and what do I see? Spider-Man, swinging by like he owns the place.
Our next caller was involved in a frightening hostage situation. Tell us about it, please.
Oh my god, I thought I was gonna die. But Spider-Man got involved and it...
Totally Friends, today we have a caller who's been a victim of what people call the corruption that infects otherwise law-abiding citizens, causing them to go on violent rampages.
Peter is starting to suspect. He hides it, but I can tell. He's seen my twitch, noticed the decay of my fine motor control. The device will need two parts to function. The first will be an entirely original prosthesis, a modular system of microcables able to take on any number of forms.
You night owls may have seen lights flickering out at the Raft Supermax prison last night. Sadly, it was not because one of their inmates got the chair. No. Apparently, I've got a lot of people asking me what they can do now that they've woken up to the danger we're facing. I wish there were an easy answer. Obviously, we have to be aware of the... Here's another call of a type I've been getting a lot lately. Speak!
Mr. Jameson, I want to apologize. I used to think you were an alarmist. But look what's happened to the city. I'm afraid to walk the street.
I'm freaking unemployed now.
Poetry workshop next Wednesday.
Over here.
Open mic. I know, I'm a jerk.
Hi, Spider-Man.
Can I get a selfie?
Okay. Even the mole people living in the sewers know about the high-speed chase between police, Spider-Man, and the demons. Once again, Spider-Man makes a bad situation...
Oh, man, it's you! Only been in the city a week and already I run into you. Can't believe it.
Folks, the mastermind of the City Hall bombing has finally been brought to justice, and shockingly, it's philanthropist Martin Lee. Now, I'll discuss in a moment what kind of twisted Jekyll and Hyde... Now, reports are coming in that Martin Lee, along with exhibiting freakish abilities like those of you-know-who, has lately seemed to display almost a split personality. Ha! This is hog... Longtime caller Officer Andrews is back with us. As always, thank you for your service to our fair city, officer. What's new?
Mr. Jameson, you know I'm a fan.
Once again, a low-information member of Spider-Man's cult, fan club, wants to make him a saint. Sounds insane, but I always hear people out before... New polls are in. Mayor Osborn's approval ratings have spiked since Martin Lee's arrest. He seems a shoo-in for re-election. I've got one of his supporters on the line. Speak!
Mayor Osborn's go. We don't need your help.
It's happened, people. The chickens have come home to roost. Of course, by chickens, I mean the lunatics who've escaped from Rikers Island. And the home they're coming to is yours. Alarmist, paranoid, conspiracy theorist. All nasty words people have used to insult and demean me. But now, after years of me, there is someone else who isn't emerging from this crisis in a positive light. Mayor Osborn, experimenting on something as deadly as devil's breath in the heart of Manhattan. My friends, I'm getting a lot of frantic calls from people trying to get out of Manhattan. While I understand the impulse, that is not the answer. I've been in touch with the National Disease Center, and they've assured... Folks, the city is in crisis. We have bridges and tunnels closed. People who work in the city but don't live here are trapped within. Others have been barred from homes placed on... I've had numerous callers today reporting that entire city blocks are being taken over by escaped inmates from Rikers. These are literal no-go zones in the heart of Manhattan. I've expressed my concern with Sable International's heavy-handed tactics. Our next caller witnessed them firsthand. Tell us what happened.
A bunch of us were
Friends, you know about the Spider-Man-related breakout at Rikers Island. Where are those escapees going now? To your neighborhood! Our next...
Parker says the interface is dangerous, but the boy's a neophyte. Never truly created anything. Thinks we can still... Parker. Always listening, aren't you? Always observing, memorizing, stealing. Who have you...
I'm not the guy you talk, okay? Right?
More and more listeners are warning that the mayor's Sable agents, ostensibly here to protect us, are behaving more like an occupying army. But let's hear it from the mass breakout at Rikers Island, which camera footage clearly shows Spider-Man involved in, has spilled countless hardened criminals into our streets at the worst possible time. I want to hear how it's affected.
Feel like I can't turn around without seeing his face. He smiles for the cameras, collects his accolades, and keeps his boot heel print.
Looks like Otto recorded messages for his crew.
Oh, Martin. When I first realized it was you targeting Osborn these past weeks, I was shocked.
Good old Rhino. My second favorite Russian.
Alexei, I've followed your career with great interest. The world sees you as a witless dullard. I see...
Mac Gargan, aka Scorpion, aka Crazy Pants McCrazy.
It's rare for me to admit this, Mr. Gargan. Clearing your debts was more difficult than I anticipated. You're in arrears to some...
Old man Vulture. I've tangled with him more than anyone else here.
Adrian, what bitter irony that your miraculous wings should have wrought such horrors on your body. Thankfully.
Electro. Total live wire, that one.
Max. When you first conveyed your dream to me, I thought you insane. Pure energy.
Electro trying to destroy our power grid. The Vulture raining death from above. Spider-Man egging them both on in the very heart of our city, brawling... I realize Norman Osborn claimed he was stepping back from running Oscorp when he was elected. But has he? Or is he using his office? We have a return caller who recently raised concerns about Sable agents abusing their authority. Let's find out. Are things any better?
There's less people complaining. You know why?
Because some people are spreading scurrilous rumors about me. I want to address the matter of the Scorpion right now. Does anyone else find it suspicious that this Rhino person always knocks down buildings and tears up roads, which someone ends up making money rebuilding? Am I suggesting... My friends, the Rhino and the Scorpion are back behind bars, but only after wreaking unimaginable havoc in a reckless rampage with Spider-Man. Hopefully...
Happy birthday, dear. Sorry I'm a little late. Hearing things.
Super creepy. Gotta find the location of the Devil's Breath lab. Something in this room must be useful.
Norman Osborn, GR27 research log. The whole...
Folks, I know you're scared. But when I hear reports of looting, fights over food or medicine, I say to myself, we are better than this. You are better than this. I've known you my whole life. I am proud to be a member of this community. Don't give in to fear. Help each other. Stand up for those who need it. I've always hated hearing Spider-Man called a hero, because real heroes are the people who get up every day with no special powers and do the right thing simply because it is the right thing. So I'm asking you now, be the heroes I know you all are. J. Jonah Jameson believes in you.
I'll call this guy an ambulance. Hope they can help him.
We're all pulling for you, Peace Center.
I have never lied to you before, and I'm not going to start now. It's looking bad. We're running short on time. The elderly especially are in rough shape. And the NDC just... With the island of Manhattan quarantined, there are a lot of scared people out there. Here's one. You're on the air.
They're turning back boats to the mainland. All bridges and tunnels are closed. Aircraft's grounded. They're leaving us.
Mark your calendars, folks, because I'm going to say something you thought you'd never hear from me. Spider-Man got it right. Does that mean I was wrong about him? Am I apologizing? Hell no. You see, I have it on... Folks, I'm hearing a lot of praise for Spider-Man lately, and I'm not saying it's entirely unwarranted. He did listen to me after all, and did the right thing in the end. But dial it back, will ya? I can tell... One thing even my detractors have to say about J. Jonah Jameson. I admit when I'm wrong. And while I hoped his efforts in the recent crisis meant Spider-Man was finally becoming a responsible citizen, a mature... You know, looking at the dark days just behind us, most of the people involved have faced consequences. Otto Octavius is in prison. Mayor Osborn resigned in disgrace. Escapees... Some people have accused me of being negative, only criticizing, not offering solutions when it comes to Spider-Man. Here's my solution, and it's very simple. Unmask. Join the police. After much listener demand, today I am finally going to answer the question I have posed for many years. Spider-Man, threat or menace? Yes, that's...
All units. Civilians are trapped inside their
My
vehicles
bad.
following a severe collision. Officers needed in Koreatown.
been a fan for like years.
For the outfit.
Really him? Man, Spidey! I just gotta say, you're like my hero. Crap. I'm getting embarrassed.
You lost?
Do the hand thing. It's crazy.
Hey, Stevie, check it out.